I see you creeping, I can see it from a shadow. Wanna jump up in my Lamborghini Gallardo. Wanna jump up in my Lamborghini Gallardo. Can't get my title. Slim Shady, I see you run. I feel you creeping, I can see it from a shadow. Feel you creeping, I can see it from a shadow. Okay, welcome to pre-season of the Prestige division in BP Racing League. We are here in Barcelona in the great country of Spain. So, let's just start talking about the track. It will be 33 laps and one shot qualifying. Don't know why is it not full. We do have 18 drivers on the grid. However, so okay, enough of that. Let's just dive into the track details. So here we go. It is been held 64 times in its history. The circuit length is 4.6 kilometers, 2.8 miles, and a race length with all 66 laps would have been 307.36 kilometers, which also is 190.9 miles. So, the fastest lap in the last race was set by Max Verstappen with a 116.3. This track is also one of the oldest in the world still contested, celebrating its centenary in 2013, which now means it's 110 years old, and it's still and they've still not made any changes to make it any better at all. In 1927, it was part of the World Manufacturers Championship. It was promoted to the European Championship in 1935, before the Spanish Civil War brought an end to racing. The race was successfully revived in 1967 and has been a regular part of the Formula One World Championship since 1968, except the years between 1982 and 1985. Looking at the history, there's actually nothing much to talk about. So let's look at the winners of the Spanish Grand Prix. So we've only had two drivers who have won this Grand Prix 6 times, being Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton, both in their own time periods. Then it's three with Jackie Stewart, Nigel Mansell, Alain Prost, Mika Hakkinen, and Max Verstappen. The second one, we have a driver that hasn't raced in Formula One. It was in the first championship I was talking about. I think it's the World Manufacturer Championship. Louis Chiron from Monaco, and Emerson Fittipaldi, Mario Andretti, Ayrton Senna, Kimi Raikkonen, and Fernando Alonso. Constructors-wise, the most wins have come from the Ferrari constructor, with 12, and then it's 9 from Mercedes, 8 from McLaren and Williams, 7 from Lotus actually, 5 from Red Bull, 3 from Alfa Romeo, and 2 from Bugatti from the World Manufacturer Championship. In the 1992 event was advertised as the Grand Prix of the Olympic Games, since that race has been held in the early season, usually in late April or early May. The Williams team dominated the first outings there, taking all victories until 1994. So we've seen Spain before, we've seen what the races were like, we've seen all the crashes, we've seen all the mayhem, and let's see if Tsunami could actually prove himself of what he did last time. Can he maybe change back and track back and try his best not to do anything stupid, unlike he did in the reserving for Division 1 oh yeah, it is full quality. So Tsunami in Division 1 for the Ferrari, reserving for I forgot who. So, with all of that talking done, let's get into the qualifying, which will start in half a minute. Hopefully, if the 20th person to race will join. Oh no, is it Lossie? Hold on. If I stop spectating, no, it's not. So let's look at the drivers for this race. Both Van der Kamps, being of Marin and Olaf, are in the Red Bulls. In the Ferrari, it's Marco and Martin. In the Mercedes, it's Curtis Jones and Matt. In Alpine, it's Lebedev and Charles. In McLaren, it's Tom and Nicholas. In the Alfa Romeo, it's F1 Lewis and someone. In the Aston Martin, it's YZ and Jose. In the Haas, it's Lussie and Carlox. In the AlphaTauri, it's Alfie Hudson and Kryplax. And then in Williams Racing, it's Noise and Tsunami. So we'll see how this qualifying and this race will go. But it is the time has just hit 7:45, half a minute ago. So Charles Max is ready. Is anyone else readying up? Not at this moment. I think we're waiting for someone, but who are we waiting for? So, let's take a look at Discord and let's find out. Prestige chat. I think we should just go. Honestly. So, some of these drivers have come from Division 1, and let's see what their driver stats were for Season 7 in Bahrain. So, the defense rating, the best goes to Noise with 8.8 and his quality being a 9.7. Then it would be Lussie with 6.8, Y2 with Shazad with 6.6, Lars with 6.1, Matt with 6.1, Olaf with 6.0, Marco with 5.2, Tsunami with 5.0, Nicholas with 4.8, Tig with 4.3. Is Tig in the race? No, he's not. I don't think so. Martin with 4.2, Marin with 4.0, Warpaint with 3.9, and DJ with 3.8. And we are going to get underway. Just quickly. Warpaint 3.9, he's not racing. DJ not racing. Lewis 3.7, is he racing? Yes, he is, in the Alfa Romeo. Best of luck to all the drivers racing today. 19 drivers. Or 20, I don't know. I wasn't looking. I see you creeping, I can see it from my shadow. Wanna jump up in my Lamborghini? So we wait for Q1 to kick off. My prediction to get out the first person to get out on track will be Lewis. Don't forget, this is realistic performance. So anyone in a Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren or a Mercedes will most likely take pole. Depends on also their skill. So it could be Curtis Jones, it could be Olaf, it could be Nicholas, Marin, Matt, Tom, Martin or Marco. Maybe it could be YZ and Jose. I think Aston Martin, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes and the McLaren all have the largest chance of getting out, and that's someone going out. It's the Bar Tsunami. So he's gonna make his way out on track. So at the moment we won't have our leaderboard on, as no one has set a lap. It's until someone sets a lap I'll turn it back on. But as they make their way, as Tsunami makes his way through turn 3 and smacks down into turn 4, a heavy, not really heavy braking zone, but it is still a hairpin. And now you're going to get into probably the slowest corner on the track. And then you slalom your way. This track has also been cut off a little, so there's no more the hard braking zone at the end of the second DRS straight, and there is no chicane anymore. Thank God for that. So down the DRS straight goes Tsunami, and now it's just a quick slalom through the two kinks, and as he makes his way around almost wide, basically wide of the line, as he zooms his way through, what can he do? The two Red Bulls of Olaf and Marin are out. I think Marco's out as well, and Lewis. As dashing through the final corner, Bar Tsunami will start his lap time. So, what will it be then? Going through into turn 1, you need to carry as much speed as you possibly can to get the optimal time through these corners and get a best sector 1 you can possibly get. Through turn 3, a long right-hander, and now it's going to cross the sector 1 line. It is a 22.571. Will anyone behind the two rebels behind him beat that? Most likely. There's the AlphaTauri letting him through. Bar Tsunami makes his way around the next couple of hairpins and now goes through this next kink and into this chicane, and getting ready to propel his speed down the straight, which will have DRS supporting him. He's definitely going to have the hot lap DRS on. He is harvesting, I think. I don't know why the red light's flashing. But going into the slalom, 52.144 is the baseline sector 2 from the first driver that has set something. So, as they make their way through the hairpin, as he loses his rear. He's lost his rear a little, going at the exit of the hairpin, so that's definitely going to cost him. Through the final corner, what can he set? He's going to cross the line and get a 140.024. A actually decent lap for the driver from, I don't know from where, I didn't look at his location, where he's from. Next to cross the line will be Marin van der Kamp on the Inters. Okay. Olaf van der Kamp also on the Inters. Okay. So Marco now is going to make his way through the final corner on the medium compound tyre. What can he set? Cross the line, 112.2. A great lap, 1.7 seconds clear on his and Ollie crossed the line to get I believe a 112.608. A actually half decent lap there. The Aston Martin across the line. Jose goes fastest, a 111.7. Someone is making their way through the Haas of I wonder who. Carlox is going to start his lap time. I believe that's an Alpine behind him, and he validates his lap. It's both laps, so now the car ahead behind him, which again I think, yeah, it is Lebedev, will start his lap time. DRS flap open, straight lines it, and then goes into the first corner. Great. You need to get a great apex here. Let's go on board with the Alpine driver. Slaloms his way through, and he's going to try his hardest into the right. And what can he do here? Lebedev makes his way through the next couple of corners, loses his rear a little. He needs to wonder what his tyre temperatures are like. And the Williams of STR Noise lets him through, and Lebedev goes down the straight. The McLaren lets him through. I believe that was Nicholas, as he has crossed the line in P5 just earlier. But that means there's a car in front of him, and that's his teammate. Charles Max on his outlap at the moment, so Lebedev will be the next driver to cross the line. Let's go into broadcast camera. He's going to cross the line, and it's a 1:11.9, a great lap compared to what he set in when he was reserving. Next to cross the line will be an Aston Martin. The Aston Martin of YZ Shazad, going through the slalom slowly, getting ready for his proper lap time. Piste Control Tom making his way through turn 4, and he's now going to get as much speed as he possibly can and get the optimal braking zone. Going into turn 5, turn 6, he's bringing all the speed he needs to maybe pull out a great lap. The Alpine lets the two drivers of the Haas and Piste Control Tom through. I believe that was Lussi ahead of him, or Carlox, one of the two. But Tom sets a 51.0. I think that is quicker than the Bar Tsunami, who actually went 4th. Didn't even notice he did go 4th in the Williams. And Charles Max goes P6. Piste Control Tom, what will he set? He's going to go round the final corner, and he's going to get all the speed he can. DRS flap open, goes P5, a 1:12.427, and that's a alright lap there from the McLaren driver. Better than his teammate Nicholas. STR Noise on the inters. Lussi on the inters. Martin will probably be the next proper lap that will be set. Oh my goodness, can't find the button. So yeah, let's look. So on the mediums goes Martin. His teammate Marco was also on the mediums. Cross the line, goes P6, a 1:12.575, and now there's an AlphaTauri. There's an AlphaTauri of Alfie Hudson, who shall start his lap on the soft compound tyre, going it down the straight, DRS flap open. The all-in AlphaTauri roars its engine, going through the first chicane, and goes into the long right-hander. The McLaren of Piste Control Tom lets the AlphaTauri through. The number 43 shines on that red shines on that engine cover, or whatever it is, going through the next couple of hairpins, and then goes through the last hairpin area on that hairpin turn on that section, and goes into the chicane, which any mistake could send you into the barriers or the gravel, going down this long right-hander. And now DRS flap open. He needs to get all the speed he gets. The Ferrari of Martin ahead of him, going into the next corners, and he slaloms his way around on the outside and then dives to the inside into the next corner. Yellow flags, that is probably Martin letting him through. And going into now what is a fast right-hander instead of a chicane, and going to another fast right-hander, Alfie Hudson will cross the line with a 1:12.406, a great lap. And next to cross the line will be Nicholas on his outlap. ASR Matt on his lap in the Mercedes, 45 seconds in on his lap time. The Williams of of the Bar Tsunami behind him on his outlap. Matt circles his way through the good old slalom and around this long hairpin that you need to keep your pace good. Into the final penultimate corner. What can he set in the Mercedes? Can he out-qualify Jose Feliz in the Aston Martin? No, he goes second, a 1:11.852, and then Bar Tsunami is going to start his lap. Can he improve on that? The Bar Tsunami is getting slipstream from Matt, who's ahead of him, going into the first chicane. What can he do here? Gets a good line for turn 3, keeps it close to the curb, and now goes on the outside. Now we need to get really close to the curb to this corner, or you'll go wide and probably go into the gravel. And just like that, that's how you meant to do it. Bar Tsunami into the next kind of hairpin area. Goes on the curb That's enough. That's good. Not on the green one, just on the red one. And goes into the chicane. What can he set here? Aston Martin of there's yellow flag. Dashes drivers letting through other people. Y2 goes P4. Y2 Shazad goes P4, and Curtis Jones goes P3. Don't know what, and I can't check now. The Red Bull is going to start his lap time, but Bart Tsunami, we're going to focus on him now. Crosses the line and goes slower by a second. Right. So, Cryplax, let's look at him. Currently 19th, while Carlox is on just further back, and Cryplax is going slowly. I believe he's stopped his lap. However, Carlox is not going to stop his lap. Going into the first hairpin slalom area. Goes wide and goes into the gravel. Almost spins. The lap is invalidated. And that is not good enough. Lassie, Olaf van der Kamp are all currently in the elimination zone. They're both putting on soft compound tyres. However, Olaf van der Kamp is on a lap. Going now into the slalom. 2 seconds up on his lap. Can he out-qualify Jose Fillers and beat maybe his brother, I don't know what it is, but his teammate, Marin van der Kamp, going into the penultimate corner, into the final corner, doesn't go into the pit lane, and he's going to cross the line, and it's a 11.7, barely just behind the Aston Martin, 93 thousandths of a second. And that is what you call close. Nicholas starting his lap time. His teammate, Olaf's teammate, Marin, is going slowly. He's invalidated his lap time. So let's look at Nicholas. And there's yellow flags in the first chicane. Probably drivers letting others through. Dobrze. Nicholas going into the last hairpin and to get into the chicane. What can he do? Zooms and going slowly? No, it's just the corner. And going through the fast right, and he's going to smash it down the straight as fast as he can. What can he do here? Oh no, it's not a proper lap. For God's sake. All of that for nothing. I should have looked at... Hello, Rani. I don't know who you are. Maybe you're in the racing here. So, no one setting laps at the moment. Bard Tsunami going slowly. Nicholas going slowly, obviously. So we've got 3 drivers now laps, all of them being Charles Max, STR Noise, and Lassie. Lassie needs to get a good lap in, as he was just messing about on the inters. But anyway, Lassie makes his way down the straight. No DRS flap open, obviously. I'm speaking English. Going into the next hairpin, and Lassie's now going to get all the speed in to start his lap. Going into the final corner, and what can he do? Marin van der Kamp has retired from the session, so has Matt. I've just noticed that. But Lassie has started his lap. Let's put all the focus on Lassie. Going through the first chicane. What can he do here? Circles round turn 3. Down the straight. Oh my god, the fireworks. England. Lassie, 1 second up on his sector 1, and it's purple. I don't know if it actually is purple, but going AlphaTauri, going slowly, yellow flag. I believe that's Alfie Hudson or Cryplax, one of the two, as he slaloms his way through. But STR Noise is the next to cross the line. What can he do here? 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, and it's a 111.502, goes fastest by 0.2. Next to cross the line will be Lassie through the final corner. 109, 110, 111, 1:11.848 goes fourth fastest. And how about Charles Max going slowly? Why? Kryplax has just kicked off his lap, going into the first chicane. The number 73 shines on the AlphaTauri car, going through turn 3 and going into the hairpin. Round and round he goes, and he almost spins it. He's almost spun it. I think he's given up. Looks like he has. Yeah, he stopped. F1 Lewis has just started his lap time though, going to the first chicane, almost spins it, and goes wide off the line, goes into turn 3. Let's go on board with the AlphaTauri driver. And then into the hairpin, gear 4. And he's going to stay in there until he gets into gear 5, gets into gear 6, and then has to brake again all the way down to gear 2. And that Alfa Romeo is going as fast as it can. Marco has retired from the session, and I think that could be costly. He's retired in the pit lane, but I don't know if that's a good move or not. Lewis going into the first slalom. Kryplax has just started his lap. Charles Max has retired from the session. He has crashed in the pit lane. And the AlphaTauri just went by him, but yeah, Charles Max is out of the session, crashing into the pit lane. STR Noise has retired. And Lewis crossed the line and goes 18th. Olaf van der Kamp has retired from the session. People are starting to retire from the session. It is now 6 minutes left, I believe, of this session. Oh my goodness, it's about to end. Carlox still hasn't set a lap. He needs to now. Going into the last hairpin of this section, as it's all twists and turns. Now he's gonna get to the DRS detection zone on the exit of the chicane. He's gonna speed down that chicane and into that long right-hander. Dobrze. I will, don't worry. Going into the hairpin. I'm really need to focus on commentating right now. Going into the hairpin, Carlox has gone wide. Carlox has gone wide and has 9 seconds left to get to the line. He will put a lap on the board. However, he won't put another one. 108, 109, 110. This will be slow. Crosses the line, Carlox. Goes P19. And Lewis, behind him, goes P15. Will that be enough? No, it won't. No, it won't. And I wonder who that was. But they cross the line and knock Lewis out of qualifying. Nicholas, can he knock out Alfie Hudson? Going through, I don't want to see his rear right now. Going into the last hairpin of the circuit. This is the penultimate corner he'll be taking of Q1. This will be the last corner he will take of Q1 or qualifying in general. He's going to cross the line. Goes P8. He is safe and sound. Alfie Hudson, Lewis, Kryplax, Charles Max, and Carlox all out of qualifying 1. Now, no really big surprises there, except maybe Charles Max. But it's no Q2 for the 2 AlphaTauris, 1 Alfa Romeo, 1 Alpine, and 1 Haas. STR Noise P1, Jose Feliz P2, Olaf P3. That is your top 3 for Q1. Will it stay the same for Q2, or will there be a change? Stick around to find out here in Q2. Bard Tsunami goes into the next round. P13, Marco P14. The 2 Ferraris from Division 1, 13th and 14th. Peace Control Tom just goes into the pit lane. Make my day. I wanna be there. Lewis out in Q1. Who would have expected that? P17 as well. But STR Noise back on top as he was yesterday. Make my day. Let's look at the incidents. So, not much this time around. We've got 2 warnings, a DNF, and three invalidated lap times, and then 2 this and next lap. Let's look at the tyres, and three soft usages from Bard Tsunami, which could cost him. You never know. We'll see in Q2. Carlock's also using 3 sets of softs, and nothing worked. So, Q2 is officially underway. And that's both Red Bulls going out on track. Who will go out first? It will be Marin. So both Red Bulls, both Van der Kamps out on track. I saw Williams going out, which is most likely. There's a McLaren, there's a Williams. All of them are going out on track right now. And Marin and Olaf will lead the way for the first laps in the Q2 of the Barcelona GP in BP Racing League Prestige pre-season. The Oracle on the rear wing, which most likely drivers will see in the race, and maybe in Q3 too. Let's just look at the telemetry. So, saving his ERS 100% at the moment. Don't know why it's flashing at the back though. And 11,000 RPM, it just hits going down this DRS straight. Gear 4. Don't know why it says Gear 5 on the thing. Gear 7. And making his way around. And he's going to start his lap. Zooming down the first straight. His teammate not that far behind him. Slaloms his way through. Okay, so good. So what will be the baseline sector 1 here in Q2? It's a 21.695. And that seems quick. I've seen 22s most of the time. As Marin makes his way through the first couple of corners. He's going to go into the chicane now. Slalom his way through. And DRS detection zone. And his DRS is come up. And it's DRS flap open. Down the straight as fast as he can. And it's 50.849 in sector 2. So, what will it be for the Marin van der Kamp, the driver for Red Bull? He's going to make his way through the penultimate corner. He's going to go into the final corner. What will he set? A 112.1. And I thought that seemed fast. And Olaf sets a 112.0. Before I saw 111s. Okay. Anyway, Bard Tsunami on the Inters. The Aston Martin. Jose gets a 111.994. And that is great. Nicholas splits the two Van der Kamps in half. Curtis Jones goes P2. What about the next driver to cross the line? Ollie makes his way down into the final corner on the medium compound tyre. A 1:12.9594. The driver behind him is going to start his lap. But Marco gets set to 1:11.399. He does it once again. Piece control Tom. A 1:12.723. And Marco's teammate, Martin SM95, crosses the line. It's a 1:11.754, 0.354 seconds behind his teammate, and it's currently a Ferrari 1-2 here in Q2. Next across the line will be Marin, but he's going to the pit lane. So, next across the line and set a lap will be STR on the inters. Why is everyone going on the inters? I swear down, I'm an answer. So is it them? Matt or Lebedev? Lebedev makes his way and just going slowly to start his lap. Makes his way. Driver in front of him, McLaren of Piece Control Tom, goes into pits. But now Lebedev will shoot and start his lap, his first one of Q2, going down the first straight, going into the first chicane of this lap. And there's the Aston Martin of YZ in front of him as Lebedev spins. Lebedev has spun too much on the curb and just gets too much on the throttle and has spun round. ASR Matt now makes his way down into turn 4. Purple sector 1, 21.6. I think that was slower than Marin. But going into turn 5, going into turn 6, into the chicane. Let's go on board here. The sausage curb, you need to be careful of that. And going into this corner, fast as he can, full throttle, flat round there. DRS, 12,000 revs per minute, going into the first kind of hairpin section of this area, into the second one, and he is not even braking or accelerating in one moment. Gear 5, Gear 6, Gear 7, 278 kilometers an hour, and he's going to cross the line. A 1:12.034 goes 5th fastest. Lebedev going to the pits, but YZ has started his lap. We know how he did in Div 1. How can he do here in Prestige? Can he maybe beat some of the drivers who are driving today? For example, Ollie, maybe Tom, maybe Lussie, maybe Noise, maybe Tsunami. But YZ making his way through turn, going to go into the chicane. The last one that will be on this lap of 4.3 kilometers, I think it was. And diving down the straight, DRS flap open. The Red Bull of Marin ahead of him, I think that is Marin. As Olaf, no, it is Olaf. We'll see, we'll find out. YZ through the penultimate corner, through the final corner. Yeah, it was Olaf. So YZ crosses the line. A 1:11.7 goes P3, and it's a 1-2 for Aston Martin, a 3-4 for 1-2 for Ferrari, 3-4 for Aston Martin, 5-6 for Mercedes, 7-9 for Red Bull, 8 and 11 for McLaren, 10 and I think not 17 for Alfa Romeo, 12 and 13 for Williams, and obviously Lebedev and Lussie hasn't set their lap, but Lussie, this will be his first lap. Let's do a full on board of this lap until he spins or invalidates, going into the first chicane. And he has to get easy on the brakes, easy on the brakes, easy on the revs, and going into the long right-hander. It's 60% of ERS being used, 12,000 RPM, and going into the next corner, again, still 12,000 revs per minute, almost 13,000 I see, and going into the next hairpin, there's two hairpin sections, and he's just passed the first one. Goes into the final chicane of this 4.3 kilometer circuit. Olaf goes P2 and 0.61 thousandth of a second behind Marco. They have finally got to Marco's speed. Anyway, Lussie, let's go now into broadcast. Actually, never mind. It was a full onboard. Making his way through the second hairpin section, and now he's going to carry all the speed he can going into these two final corners. And it's a yellow flag. That's just drivers letting drivers by. But Lussie will cross the line and set E1 11.752, going third fastest. Marin van der Kamp is going to maybe restart his lap time here. STR Noise going to start his lap on the soft compound tyre. Haas of Lussie going slowly. Lebedev has started his lap time. Maybe this time he will succeed. Let's go on board with the Alpine driver. And what can he do? Going into ending the first hairpin section of this circuit, and now he's going to make his way into the final chicane of this track, this lap. 40 seconds, 41 seconds, 11,000 RPM, almost 12,000 going through this corner, down the straight, goes into gear 7, goes into gear 8, gets to the braking zone at the 100 brake meter board, making his way around the first hairpin, making his way through the second hairpin, as he makes his way into now the last final two corners. And now you need to be careful if you brake or not. Lets off the brake, lets off the throttle, DRS flap on, cross line goes P6, a 111.9, and that's another 111 set on the time board. STR Noise making his way down the DRS straight, gear 7, almost gear 8, brakes at the 100 meter board, and it's 2 seconds up on his lap, and makes his way through the last hairpin, and he's going to go into the final two corners, goes to the right. And it's another right turn to finish this lap off. This is looking insanely fast. What can he say? It's a 11.6 going third fastest. A great lap from the Williams driver. The Tsunami on the softs going to set his proper lap. 3.51 seconds. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left of this qualifying session. Drivers will slowly start to go out on track. Curtis Jones has already. But the Tsunami's lap is underway. Let's go on board with the Williams driver. We can see the Duracell on the halo. We can see the Kraken on the halo. We can see Gulf. We can see Williams. We can see the orange. We can see the blue. We can see the track. We can see the curbs. We can see everything from this camera angle. And Olaf, van der Kamp and Marco have retired from the session. But let's focus on the Tsunami. A tenth quicker, almost 2 tenths on his first sector. Nearly goes into the grass. Going into the hairpin. He's going to try all he can to get into the best speed he can for this next DRS straight into the chicane, and that car gets to almost no hot lap. Hot lap is not on. Almost 12,000 RPM and brakes just in between the 50 and the 100 meter board. The top 3 have retired from the session. The current driver in danger of being knocked out is ASR Matt. The drivers that may be out is Marin, Nicholas, Ollie, Tom and Tsunami. But Tsunami can get out of this zone if he sets a quality lap. He's going to cross line and it's stays P15 a 113.2, but don't forget he's not using hot lap. Now he is though, making his way into the first chicane. Luckily, he just gets out before the queue of drivers, the swarm of drivers, go out on track. Tsunami makes his way into the first corners. Tsunami is obviously now going quicker on his lap time, as he's now using hot lap for ERS. His fuel problems are starting to ramp up. 10,000 revs per minute, 11,000 revs per minute, almost 12,000. And gear 7 into the chicane. 11,000 RPM into the next corner, which is a quick right kink down the DRS straight. Let's go on board once again with the Bar Tsunami going into the final hairpin section and going into what is turn 13 now, I believe, and dashing into the penultimate corner, and now is going to dash into turn 15, and he's going to cross the line and set a 11.7, going 7th fastest. Curtis Jones went P3. Who's next to cross the line? Who's on a lap? Obviously. It will be Ollie going through the last hairpin section. Is going to go into this penultimate corner. He's got a couple drivers in his way. He's got a Haas right in front of him. He can use it as a slipstream. Bar Tsunami's retired from the session, but Ollie crossed the line, goes P9, not safe enough, and Q2 is about to finish. And drivers are starting their laps. Peace Control Tom around the penultimate corner, around the final corner. What can he set? He's going to get all the speed he can. It's a 111.772, goes 7th, just quicker than the Bar Tsunami, but Jose goes P4, the driver behind him. And Q2 is over. ASR Matt has retired from the session. Lebedev has spun. And that's both drivers out. Marin. So who's next to cross the line? It will be Nicholas. And let's see, makes his way into the final corner. Can he get out and possibly knock out YZ? He goes and spins. And that's him also out. Marin is next. No, the Haas. He'll cross the line. Lussie stays P6. Marin goes P13. And now it's Ollie going into the pits. YZ is still in after all of this spinning, after all of this retiring, and after all of these mistakes. And somehow YZ, Bar Tsunami have somehow stayed up. Tom stays up. Martin, Lussie, Noise, Jose, Curtis Jones, Olaf, and Marco. No, don't go into the pits. Oh my god. Just cross the line. Don't. Oh my god. So now Q3 is going to happen when Jose and Tom goes into their respective garages. And we won't see the Marin van der Kamp in his garage. We won't see Matt in his garage. We won't see Nicholas, or Lebedev, or Ollie. But we do have both Ferraris still in both Williamses, both Ferraris, and both Aston Martins staying into Q3. Looking at the race director, we can see here Marin van der Kamp used 3 sets of soft compound tyres, but did not get out of Q2. We have had 2 invalidating lap times, 2 warnings, and 1 this and next lap invalidated thingies. So no pit stops, obviously. But all we know is going to Q3, the favourite is either Marco, Olaf, Curtis Jones, and Jose. That is your top 4, which is most likely going to be probably on pole position for this Grand Prix. Wanna jump up in my Lamborghini Velato. I'll be right back. I am back. So Marco will be the first to set a lap. Currently on his out lap, obviously. So we just wait for that. Sit back and watch me smack that. Shut up, phone. Shut up, blood. Anyway, Marco has started his lap. Let's go on board with the Ferrari driver. As he makes his way down into the straight, what can he do? As he makes his way through the third corner, the McLaren lets him through, and now he's going to go pedal to the metal. Makes his way through turn 4, makes his way through turn 5, and he is still going and going. Going to now the next kink, known as turn 6, and into the chicane of turn 7 and 8. You now need to get the maximum amount of speed you can get, as now you go down the DRS straight, and where you brake will be controversy for your lap. Brakes at the 100-meter board, a 50.285 is the baseline. I mean, the laps, the sector 2 set by Marco SK F1. Goes into turn 14 and goes into turn 15. And now he's going to cross the line as a 1:11.2. Good lap there. Bar Tsunami is going to cross the line and start his lap. Okay. Curtis Jones is now going to cross the line. He's going to cross the line and go a 1:11.316. Peace Control Tom is going to cross the line and start his lap. STR Noise cross the line and goes fastest. A 1:11.274 puts him at provisional pole position. 14,000 clear of Marco SF1. Martin, what can he set? A 1:11.477. The Haas of Lassie, he's going to set a 1:11.550. A Jose, he's going to cross the line and set a 1:11.490. Olaf van der Kamp is going to start his lap. Peace Control Tom is going to make his way. No, next is Bar Tsunami. Makes his way a little wide, but that should be alright. Makes his way into now the penultimate corners. That's 1 and then 2. 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, and that's 1.9 seconds behind a 1:13.224. YZ is going to start his lap. Tom is going to make his way around the final corner. What can he set? He's going to cross line. It's a 1:11.893. We have now the top 7 in the 1:11s. Next across the line will be Olaf van der Kamp. Makes his way through the last chicane of this circuit, and it goes through the DRS detection zone, and 100 meters, and DRS flap open, brakes at the 100 No, in between the 100-meter and the 50-meter board. And he almost goes wide once again. Most of the drivers almost going wide. I think that's the racing line now. But Olaf van der Kamp makes his way into the penultimate corner with the Aston Martin of Jose in front of him. Olaf circles the final corner and he's going to cross the line at a 1:10, 1:11, 1:11.302, 28 thousandths behind Noise. Next to cross line is YZ. He's going to make his way around the penultimate corner and then into the final corner. He's going to cross line and set a 1:11.310. Goes fourth fastest, and all of the top five is less than 42 thousandths of a second behind STR Noise. And that's what you call very close. So now these drivers are going to settle into the pit lane, and now we just wait. We know what the standings currently look like. STR Noise for provisional pole, as now the drivers are going to make their way into the pit lane. So obviously these guys are not on proper laps. Don't know if YZ's doing another proper lap or not, because I didn't find out from crossing the sector 1 point. He's got DRS flap open. He's doing another lap. No, never mind. Well, I don't know why he had his DRS flap open. So there we go. Olaf van der Kamp going into the pit lane, waiting for his mechanics, waiting for him to park into the pit box. So now everyone in the pit lane, and now we wait for the next driver to go out on track. It is 4 minutes and 48 seconds left. It will be a matter of time until someone goes out on the track. All of these lot are in garage, and all of these are going to select their respective respective tie selections, and let's see how they do. So provisional pole is STR, then it's Marco, Olaf, YZ, Curtis Jones, Martin, Jose, McCluskey, Peace Control Tom, and the Bod Tsunami. Tsunami, I don't believe, was setting a proper lap, as he is 1.9 seconds behind STR Noise, and is 1.3 seconds behind the 9th place Peace Control Tom, as he set a 1:13.221, if I remember correctly. But now we wait. Who's the first to get out on that track? My prediction is the Bar Tsunami, because I think he wants the most clean air possible for him to set his proper lap time. But we'll find out. It's a matter of waiting time now. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I am just a genius. I knew it. I knew it was going to be Bar Tsunami. But anyway, going to the chicane. On his outlap at the moment. Haas going out. Of Lassie. No one else at the moment. We just have to go quiet because nothing's really going. McLaren of Tom is going out on track. I believe Marco's going out on track as well. I mean, I'm guessing it's Marco. STR Noise going out on track now. I mean, both Ferraris are now out on track, so it's Marco and Martin. Mercedes of Curtis Jones now going out on track. And Bar Tsunami is going to start his lap. Olaf also going out on track. Aston Martins, which one of them are going out? I'm guessing that is Shazad. Going into the first chicane, Bar Tsunami with the furthest driver, closest driver to him. in front is STR Noise, his teammate. So going into sector 1, is he going quicker? He's going slower by a tenth. Now the question is, does he have what's it called? He has ERS off. I think he's saving his ERS for this next lap. He did it in Q2. He's gonna do the same thing in Q3, which worked for him as he stayed in as he went into Q3. So Barsunami's gonna make his way. I'm gonna find out. And that was Martin. I was incorrect. So, so Barsunami going to start his proper lap. ERS is going to be turned on just before this final corner. I'm telling you right now. Told you. And now he is going to go pedal to the metal down the straight. DRS lap open, and his lap has been started. Going down the straight, and he's going into gear 8. Almost 11,500 revs per minute. He's going to go make his way into the first chicane. He's going to go into turn 3. He's going to go as much as he can to try and get a good position for him and STR Noise to get as much not really points, but as much position as possible. He goes faster in the sector 1, which is obvious as he is on ERS now. He doesn't get invalidated although going wide. Keeps it as an inside line going into the next kink. Going into the last chicane of the circuit. Q3 is over. And Barsunami has made a mistake. Oh, and he's gone spinning. He's gone into the gravel. YZ Shazad has retired from the session, but Barsunami has beached it and has gone straight into the wall. But Lassie retiring. Tom finishing getting P9. Martin getting possibly P7. Jose gets P8. Curtis Jones stays P5. YZ. So STR gets a 110.999. Marco gets P2. So pole position will be STR, then Marco, then Olaf, then YZ, then Curtis, then Lassie, then Martin, then Jose, and then Tom. I swear down on Minan's grave. Do you have to? And Olaf goes into the pits to finish Q3. So, on pole position is STR Noise, followed by Marco SK F1 and Olaf van der Kamp. That is your top 3 for this Grand Prix. Then it's followed by YZ Shazad. Then it's followed by Curtis Jones. Then it's Malassi. Then Martin. Then Jose. Then Tom. Then Tsunami. Tsunami with the only non-proper lap, and STR Noise, after being really close from not getting pole, finally setting a good lap of a 110.999, which is just pure luck. I mean, it could have been a 111.000, but doesn't matter really. Here we go. Going into the race with formation lap and 33 laps of action. Please no safety cars. And yeah, that's all basically. waiting for players. And it's lights out, and away we go. It's a great start for STR Noise. It's a very good start indeed. Marco with not the greatest one, so he's being swallowed by YZ and Olaf. Going into turn one. Hopefully no crashes going down here. And everyone is running smoothly. And that is a McLaren going wide, and that is Nicholas. Loads of drivers going wide at the moment. There's a yellow flag, and that is a plethora of drivers. Lebedev, Marin, Ollie, and Matt all must have spun round in some sort of contact. Curtis Jones and Marco fighting for P3. Marco has not had the greatest of starts that he has been wanting. Let's look at the position change of the start of this Grand Prix. It is Noise staying where he is. Olaf going up 1 place. Curtis Jones going up 2. Marco going up 2. YZ going up 1. And the biggest deficit or upgrade is 8 positions down by Lebedev. Let's look at the tyres these drivers have decided to put on for this Grand Prix. So, most of the top 8 has been put on hards. Top 10 is just filled with hards, mediums, and 1 soft. The bottom is softs and mediums. And STR Noise has been overtaken by Olaf van der Kamp. But we know how STR Noise is. He is not going to give up that position on those hard tyres. We understand it's realistic performance, but that driver is as fast as anyone could be, as if it's equal performance. Going into the next couple of corners, it's Marin van der Kamp and Olaf van der Kamp has just put the top from 18th to 2nd all in a sandwich, and if Marin makes a mistake, the whole grid could be... Oh, it is equal. No audio. Hold on. I'm not muted. Oh no, I'm not muted. You got me really confused there, Tig. I swore, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, I put it on low because I could barely hear myself when we were doing Div 1. But Olaf van der Kamp sets the fastest lap of this Grand Prix, DRS enabled. Going now into the first chicane. Is there any fights going on? Maybe any overtakes? And that is... that was a really cool camera angle, not gonna lie. Finally, a good camera angle for Spain, where I can see most drivers. So Curtis Jones in the number 3 makes his way, maybe can overtake STR Noise. Olaf van der Kamp is starting to run away. STR Noise and Olaf van der Kamp, remember, were teammates for Division 1 in the pre-season. I think they just are for the whole thing. But as they go through the chicane, what can they do? And probably someone here has definitely got Eurobeat music on to try and just gain speed. I mean, it does work, but yeah. Ollie has overtaken Carlox for P14. Let's go down there and see how they're doing with DRS. We need 3 tenths. There we go, 2 tenths. Carlox and Matt. 2 tenths. Jose and Lussie as well. Let's look at those two. Let's go on board with the Aston Martin. Lussie weaving to try and not get into slipstream. And ERS is already being used too much by Lussie, and it's only lap 4 of this Grand Prix. Nicholas, and there's a spin! There's a spin from Lussie! And Lussie has spun round. And once again, same as Lebedev in qualifying, too much on the revs and too much on the curb. And is now spun round and falling down, and has fell down back all the way to P13 from P6, from where he started, I think, in this Grand Prix, or P7. F1 Lewis from 17th, from basically the back of the grid, has made his way through into P9. Oh no. The bar tsunami against Lewis once again. It's happening all over again. Going into the hairpin. We've seen these two drivers before. There's contact already. Lewis goes wide. 4 wheels off the track. But Lewis gets ahead of the Williams driver. The number 46. The white 46 on the Alfa Romeo steams on that front wing and on that just in general on that Alfa Romeo car. Bar tsunami may have an opportunity again going down the straight. Olaf van der Kamp has overtaken STR Noise, and can Olaf make that place back? And as I said, Noise wasn't going to give up that position. Lussie goes up into P12. Matt goes up into P15 to overtake Carlox. The two are actually fighting at the moment. Carlox has spun. Matt has gone off the track. There was definitely contact between those two drivers. Is there any damage for either? No, there isn't. They both look fine. Charles and Lussie are fighting here side by side, and Ollie just a front row seat to this great action. Going into the next corner, there's merely maybe centimeters, maybe just centimeters between these two drivers. Going down into the DRS straight, you can see a visible gap, but now Lussie has the DRS. Ollie behind him, but Lussie, is he going to try ascend? No, he's not. He's going to pull behind. He makes contact with Charles Max's rear, going into the slalom, which is the final hairpin section of this track. But let's go back up the field. Let's look at Bar Tsunami v Lewis. Lewis goes wide. That's definitely a track limits warning. But going down the straight, Lewis does not have any DRS. But Bar Tsunami does. ERS on. DRS on. And he gets ahead. Can even Nicholas slick through? Oh, and there's contact. Bar Tsunami spins them round. And Carlos has got the first penalty of the Grand Prix. But F1 Lewis is round. All his progress has just been burnt on fire, and the rivalry continues, and the arguments will continue in the BP general chat. And Bar Tsunami also broke to definitely let someone through, but Nicholas Thomas makes his way into P8, and his teammate Peace Control Tom in P7. Then it's the two Aston Martins, and Marco is going to try and overtake Curtis. Curtis also trying to overtake Olaf, and Olaf trying to overtake STR Noise. STR Noise will be DRS-less going into the straight, but possibly Olaf van der Kamp as well, as STR Noise is pulling away. They go into the DRS detection zone, and yes, he is getting DRS, but he has a long way to go to overtake. However, Curtis Jones has a very short road to overtake. ERS off, but DRS on. Curtis Jones in that Mercedes is going to try and steam through and try and overtake Olaf van der Kamp. Ollie and Charles Max keep on fighting each other side by side. Plax and Bard Tsunami, great move there by Bard Tsunami. He's going to try and maybe prove himself back after the mistake he made just now, and also the mistakes he made in Bahrain. But Cryplax going into the hairpin. The number 73 shines on that AlphaTauri. We've already said that before. We've seen that number 73 in qualifying. Not the best of qualifyings he had, but the race has just been the exact opposite. In the top 10, while his teammate has been struggling, Alfie Hudson, down in P20, didn't do a pit stop. Definitely due to damage. YZ and Marco as a 10th I saw, but they are pretty close to each other. Cryplax and Bar Tsunami are fighting again. It's almost side by side, but it's not. The Bar Tsunami stays ahead. But let's go back to YZ and Marco. And YZ has got the better exit than Marco. YZ will have the DRS, so will YZ, but ERS on. And YZ just steams with all the pace he has and overtakes Marco for 4th place. And Marco's just been having not the greatest of these starts, which is not the best thing we want to see. Curtis Jones makes his way into the hairpin. Can he overtake Olaf van der Kamp? STR Noise goes a bit wide, and now this Jose Fillers may overtake Marco. Maybe will his teammate follow suit? Will YZ's teammate follow suit? Down now into the chicane. Jose will have that outside line, but backs out because he knows he'll go into the gravel and probably even the barriers. Going down the straight now. DRS flap open, but so does Marco. Marco without DRS, so does Jose. And these two are now going to just fight it, and Aston Martin want a good result for this pre-season, and they need to prove that. Going into the penultimate corner, going into the final corner, and that's not the greatest of exits, as YZ had, and here you can see this, the slipstream line is absolutely mad, and going down the straight, you can see it's all very split off, and Alfie Hudson is actually close to being lapped by the leaders, and it's only lap 9. Kryplax and the Bard Tsunami once again fight it. It's side by side. The Bard Tsunami is ahead. Can Lussie overtake the Bard Tsunami? And there's a spin. There's a spin from Ollie. There was contact with Ollie and Charles Max. But anyway, back to the fight for P9. What? And YZ may overtake Curtis Jones here. Going to the hairpin. Ollie is out. Ollie is out. He has retired from the Spanish Grand Prix here in pre-season Prestige BP Racing League. He's left the session. But now, let's focus on YZ and his fight for more podiums and more glory. YZ's rear end starts to shudder, and which could make him fall back into Marco. And a 4/10 gap has been built, a 5/10 gap. He will have DRS, but he's falling back into Marco. Jose is also falling back. Something's just happened with the Aston Martins. Their pace have just all of a sudden dropped, which is a bit weird, honestly. You wouldn't really expect that from happening. But our first retirement and the first one was in 9 laps. Luckily, no safety car has been given yet in the first 10 laps, and that's probably a record for any racing league. No, I'm joking. Probably some other races have probably had like 0. But Charles Max and ASR Matt. ASR Matt went off the track actually, so there's actually no fight going on there. The top 5 just staying put with each other, just less than 5/10 or 5/10 behind the driver ahead of them. STR Noise with no DRS is still pulling away from Olaf here. I think STR Noise's setup must be better than Olaf's. ASR Matt once again not having the best of races as he had in Prestige in Division 1 yesterday. We'll also see next weekend, which sadly I won't be commentating as I'm going somewhere. Going into the first chicane, Curtis Jones is right behind the Red Bull driver. Let's go into broadcast cam for this. Making their way through turn 3, the long right-hander, going into sector 2. So the next race in the race in BP Racing League, which I don't even know because I don't remember. I'll look in a sec. Because we need to pay attention to this race, and the Bard Tsunami may have another shot of overtaking Kryplax. Going into the hairpin, tried to go around the outside, couldn't make a count, cuts the corner a little, and now falls back into Lussie. Carlox and Matt has spun again. Matt really needs to check that rear wing because he needs to box for new tyres because those tyres must be steaming. The Bard Tsunami regaining pace on Kryplax, going through into the final hairpin section and going into the final corners, penultimate corner, final corner. What can he do? DRS flap open, and that car will definitely go to like 11,000, 12,000 revs per minute. But down the straight, the bar tsunami. But McCluskey, oh my goodness, has gone into P9. He is absolutely definitely shocked, and there's Kryplax spinning bar tsunami round. And Bar Tsunami has now dropped down to P13. Kryplax drops down to P12, and that was just a stupid move there from Kryplax. This time Bar Tsunami hasn't done anything wrong, I don't think, but Lussi zoomed by the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri, which was just amazing to see, honestly. So as the gaps are slowly starting to settle and split, let's actually look in the next race. The next race will be, I shall tell you now, on the 11th of November. The 11th of November is the Chinese Grand Prix in Calendar Division 1 at 2:30 p.m, which I won't be commentating, as I said, but I probably will be commentating Japan on the 18th of November, which will be a sprint race. Anyway, back to the racing action. Jose Files is making his way through Jose Files, where I don't know where it is. Jose Files making his way into turn 3. He's gonna make it go down the straight. ASR Matt overtaking Carlos. Kryplax is in the pits, and that's a spin. That's a spin from some Alfa Romeo. It's Lewis, and ASR Matt is right there, and Lewis has definitely just is about to drop 2 places, or maybe 1, and it's. Oh my goodness, both Hasses are making 3 wide moves, which are absolutely beautiful. And there's contact! Lewis hits the back of ASR Matt. Kryplax makes his way out of the pit lane with Martin just ahead of him. Alfie Hudson racing. However, he will be lapped shortly. It's lap 13 out of 33. The time is 8:59. Well, it's 8 seconds from being 9. Oh, and SDR Noise's rear almost slides out from him, and now it's just hit 9. It's 21 p.m. in Britain. However, we need to focus on the race, and Olaf van der Kamp has just found a wind of speed to try and overtake STR Noise. But the gap is starting to settle, but Olaf van der Kamp is dropping into Curtis Jones, and now the first pit stops are actually starting to happen. McCluskey has retired in the pit lane from the session. However, I don't know why. Alfa Romeo of F1 Lewis is into the pits. Marin has just exited the pit lane in the Red Bull, but we need to focus on this top 3 because all these lot will just not separate, won't they? So looking at this, it currently looks like STR Noise will win the Grand Prix unless anything comes into play. I mean, range, strategy, maybe a mistake in pitting, but Olaf van der Kamp has gone into the pits. And will he do the undercut that he did in yesterday in Division 1? 1, 2, and that is a great pit stop from the driver. But now Curtis Jones has a mission to make. So does STR Noise. They both need to get as much speed. So Olaf, who is actually coming out in 8th or 7th. Let's go on to Olaf. So there's the Bar Tsunami. So Olaf van der Kamp is ahead of the Bar Tsunami. So he's only 7th. So it's not as bad. So it's still doing better than I swear that's his brother. His Red Bull teammate, who has just overtaken Lebedev, as Lebedev has just exited the pit lane. Oh, he almost hits ASR Matt there. And he could have made another incident with him again, as he did in lap 1. Carlox has just lost a couple places, just been overtaken by Lebedev and ASR Matt. Kryplax, can he overtake Martin? Will he make it his first and ASR Matt has got a corner cutting for gained 1 place, meaning he has got a 5-second penalty. Don't know how, but we now look at Curtis Jones v STR Noise going into turn 3 now. Down the straight just before the hairpin, Curtis Jones slots in behind STR Noise. And now Curtis Jones is in a way better car than he was last season. And going into now the next corners, and Lebedev makes his way into P12. Marin van der Kamp goes into P10. And as others now pit. Marin has done his ASR Matt. He's serving his 5-second stop and go penalty. And Alfie Hudson is not that far away from being lapped. He is not at all. But we have had 2 DNFs, no safety cars, 16 laps in here in a league race. And Curtis Jones is in the pits. And will he be beaten by Olaf van der Kamp? Let's go on to Olaf van der Kamp. Going, and so is Peace Control Tom. But let's look at Olaf. Curtis Jones has his tyre change. He's ahead. And by much, really. So Olaf has gained time during that undercut. So now STR Noise now needs to be careful, as he could be undercutted now. Any minute now, he will go into the pits. He will have to on those hard tyres. You can tell. Is there any lines going on? Not yet. Only 1, 2, 3. The top 4 and Carlocks have still not pitted yet. Going now into. So I think we all know who's gonna come out. If STR Noise is it? He is pitting. And is any of the Aston Martins pitting? Yes, it is Jose Fillers. YZ is back in the lead, back on top, as he used to be. And that's Marco. So let's see now. STR Noise goes into his pit box, and Olaf van der Kamp is already going down the straight. STR Noise goes out of his pit box, and Olaf van der Kamp is up into P3 by pretty much a lot. Curtis Jones is almost ahead of STR Noise, and he's going to try and make the move around the outside, down the inside, into turn 2. STR Noise is keeping ahead and stays in P4. Curtis Jones still on his rear. Let's go on board with the Mercedes driver. The black Mercedes is going to try and overtake the blue Williams. Going into turn 4. They're going to go, and he's going to have the outside line into turn 5. STR Noise closes the door. Going now into what will be the chicane. He's going to go into the chicane now. The gap is starting to loosen up, but however, we did have just a moment of pure racing. 1:13.811 fastest lap set by the Mercedes of ASR Matt on the soft compound tyre, which has been used for 2 laps now. Curtis Jones and STR Noise goes a bit wide. YZ is in the pits. Marco stays out. Pardon me. Curtis Jones on better mediums at the moment than STR Noise, as his is more up to temperature. STR Noise goes wide once again. He's going to go almost wide once again. But all we know is they are ahead. And Curtis Jones just flies past STR Noise. But now they need to be careful of the AlphaTauri of Alfie Hudson. But luckily, they ghost. They're ghosting. So it's fine. Jose Fillers is ahead of his teammate, which is absolutely shocking. YZ has been Shazard has been undercut. So at the moment, until Marco pits, because Marco hasn't pit yet, currently the leader is actually Olaf van der Kamp. Then it's followed by Curtis Jones, which is not that far, which is pretty far behind now, behind that Red Bull, and we could have Olaf as the race winner today. Then it's followed by STR Noise, then Jose Feliz, then YZ, and then probably Marco would come out just behind the two Aston Martins, maybe just in front of Peace Control Tom. But Marco is staying out. He is driving those hards as much as he can. Lap 20 out of 33. We have 14 laps left to go. And what can be done to get as fast as he can? Olaf is already closing that gap. It was 15 seconds a couple laps ago. It is now 12 seconds. Now, Olaf is definitely going to be in P1. STR Noise overtakes Curtis Jones down the straight with DRS. And now he's going to try and charge towards Olaf van der Kamp. And there's a yellow flag. And that is ASR Matt, who has retired from the session. It is not a safety car. It would have just come out by now. But Marco is now going to get past him. He's still going. Don't know why. Which has had to slow down Marco even more, meaning Olaf van der Kamp is now 11 seconds behind Marco. The gap is closing without Marco even going into the pits yet. Marco makes his way into the turn 14, I believe that is, or turn 13, goes into the penultimate corner, goes into the final corner. He still stays out. Those tyres have been going since lap 1, and it's now lap 21. 20 laps on those tyres. Carlox also not pitted yet on the mediums. Let's look at his mediums. Actually, nothing, they don't look as bad. STR Noise with the fastest lap. You can see he's trying to get back the provisional race win here at the Barcelona Grand Prix. And now that gap between Olaf and Marco is now a one-digit number. Going down into the hairpin. STR Noise, 9 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths back from Olaf. Then it's followed by Curtis Jones, Jose Feliz, YZ, Shazad, Tom, Nicholas, Lebedev, Marin, Pod, Tsunami, Kryplax, Charles, Carlox, Lewis, Martin, and Alfie Hudson. The 3 drivers out in this Grand Prix is ASR Matt, Lussie, and Ollie. But it's almost an 8-second gap now between Olaf and Marco. Going into now what is known as the hairpin, as Jose Feliz has overtaken Curtis Jones and that is just what has happened to Curtis Jones' pace. We don't know, but it's probably most likely because he's on older tyres. But STR Noise is going to have DRS. He's going to zoom. He's going to have ERS enabled. No, he does not. DRS flap enabled, and he is gone. It's a provisional P1, and Curtis Jones goes up into P4. Olaf van der Kamp now needs to try and regain that place. Although he is on the hards and on the older tyre, it doesn't mean he can go faster. Jose Feliz just behind Curtis Jones. 1/10 separates them. And it's 7 seconds now. When is Marco going to finally decide to pit? It's like he's probably not even going to finish, come out in 8th, 7th. He's probably going to now come out in 6th, sorry. Now he's going to come out probably in 7th with Tom, the top 7, from 7th to 2nd, moving up 1 place, meaning Tom will be 6th and Noise will be 1st. However, will there be any moves made? Not yet. Curtis Jones goes a bit wide there. I don't know if that will make any difference, but we'll see. Jose Feliz. And Marco has now decided to pit. I think that is one way too late. Carlox still hasn't pit. However, Marco is pitting for new softs. Now we know why he waited so long. And yeah, he's actually going to be like 10th. No, he's going to be 7th. I was correct. Yeah, my calculations were correct. However, STR Noise leads, followed by Olaf, then Jose, then Curtis Jones. Then it's YZ, Peace Control Tom, and then Marco on brand new softs, ready to maybe pounce on the leading drivers. While Olaf is just barely holding in within the 1 second gap, and will not get DRS down the straight, while Jose Velez will. So will Curtis Jones and YZ. The top 5, all from 5th to 2nd, is all a DRS just train, with one driver at the front just being a sitting duck. Jose Velez has gained even more pace going into the penultimate corner, and he's going to go into the final corner. 2/10 separates the two, and now ERS off, but however DRS is on, and steam, just full on, just walks past Olaf, and Olaf even drops down to P4. Alfie Hudson is as if fighting with the lap drivers with the drivers who is lapping him. Seems kind of funny. Oh my god. Yellow flags in sector 3, and that is Bard Tsunami. He is out of the Grand Prix. He is just straight up retired. He hit the wall from wing gone, and he just decided to retire. It's a virtual safety car. Out. Please don't change into a safety car. Please don't change into a safety car. Please don't change into a safety car. There, Bard Tsunami is going off the track. If he actually crashed, it would have been a safety car, but luckily it's just a VSC. So yeah, we've got 10 laps left of this Grand Prix. We've got a VSC currently out, but STR Noise will probably cross that line to start lap 25, and that race is going to go green, and the race is back underway for more racing action here in the BP Racing League, and YZ has immediately got DRS, going to try and overtake Olaf van der Kamp. Let's go on board. Alfie Hudson has retired in the pit lane, going now into the first chicane. YZ has definitely just made a mistake to go slower. However, he's regained all that pace going to turns 2 and 3. Is going to be a very intense battle between these two drivers. Going down now into turn 4. That pink helmet is allowed to be seen from anywhere. Going now into the turn 5. And then you're going to go into the left kink, and YZ has found another string of pace. Turn 6. Turn 7 now, and he's going to make his way into turn 8, going down into now the DRS straight, turn 9, and DRS flap open. However, Olaf has just not got enough pace to outperform that YZ and goes into P4. A great overtake by YZ and the Aston Martin. Yellow flags in sector 1 being the AlphaTauri of, I believe, Alfie Hudson, although he DNF'd. It should be fine though. Anyway, YZ going down the street, still has DRS. And Olaf just can't find the pace to overtake, while Jose has overtaken STR Noise. STR Noise will not give up, and not by now. It is lap 26 out of 33. Marco goes up into P6. It won't be enough to overtake anyone in the top 5. It will just be, I think, P6 for the Ferrari driver. STR Noise will not give up. He's going to give all he can to get that P1 back, to get that provisional win back. He wants 2 wins in 1 weekend. Yesterday in Division 1 in the McLaren, and now he wants it in the Williams at Barcelona for prestige. Going down the straight, he goes a bit wide, and he goes slowly now. He's going slower. And he now needs to get that long start-finish straight to be his reliability to overtake Jose. However, Jose's rear end just leaves him for a second there. Going now into the final corner, and STR Noise is right on the rear end, and Jose has now begging God for that for why this has happened to him. But STR Noise is now up into P1. A great manoeuvre from the Williams driver, and as I said, he will not give up. Fastest lap for Marco, 1:13.2. Going now to lap 27 on board. Let's go on board with the Aston Martin driver who has just lost his provisional win, as Curtis Jones right behind him, and the two are back fighting once again. Jose sees STR Noise as an opportunity to maybe get away from Curtis Jones and get out of this DRS train. STR Noise has a really high risk of losing this position here. Going down the straight, DRS flap and not open, as he is not in front of anyone and not behind anyone. Going into the the second hairpin section, and we immediately going to have another lapping, and these two are literally just fighting. Carlos and Martin just fighting for P14, both on penalties, and Martin's just going off the track. I don't want to know why, but here we are. And he's got a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. What on earth? But back to the actual racing action, and Jose is up into P1. Sadly, I have to miss that because Martin was just doing something stupid. Curtis Jones going down the straight, and STR Noise, let's go on board with him. He's going to try and regain that position going down this next DRS straight. He's going to need all the speed he can drive through this hairpin, through this kink, and for God's sake, we went so far. We went so far without a safety car. So far. Martin. This could have been a safety carless race. But Martin has to smash in the wall right in front of the leaders. You could have just gone in the pits and retired, mate. Oh my God. All of these drivers now pitting. All of them are definitely going to go for softs. Wait, hold on a minute. No, there won't be a double stack. Don't think. Yeah, there won't. All of these STR Noise on the mediums. Okay. 5-second penalty for Cryoplex for speeding in the pit lane, and he's retired. There we go. That's what you're meant to do. Not crashing into the wall right in front of the leaders, mate. What if they crashed into you? Wait, Crashgate. Oh no, Crashgate. Oh no, I just thought of Crashgate. That must be Crashgate, surely. He must have crashed on purpose. There's no way he hasn't. Oh no. Nah, Crashgate. Why does he need to look into that? Why does he need to look into that? And that's a 5-second penalty for Charles Max for crashing into Lewis. But nah, it's definitely what I think it is. It must be Crashgate. There's no way it isn't. There is no way Martin has just crashed on purpose to not. There is no way Martin just crashed to bring out the safety car. No. Nah. Crashgate. No. Marin's in the pits. Don't know why, but no. Why does that have to come to my mind? Of all things. Crashgate. Oh my if you guys don't know what Crashgate is, I'll explain it for you. So in the Singapore Grand Prix, Nelson Piquet Jr. I think is 2008. They were in the Singapore Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso pit really early after a terrible qualifying, which was a bit suspicious, obviously. So you want to put as much fuel in the car, and then so he pits, and then Nelson Piquet Jr. crashed. Speech marks. Apostrophes. I don't know what it's called. Like the little lines. And brought out the safety car. And during the safety car, you couldn't pit, which caused some controversy with Massa doing a mistake, which caused him P15. But the thing is, Nelson Piquet Jr. crashed on purpose to give out a safety car to help his teammate. And that's why I'm thinking Martin has just crashed on purpose to help Marco. Olaf van der Kamp has got a 5-second penalty for crashing into YZ. That is not the person you want to crash into, mate. That is not the person you want to crash into. It was definitely just like a little touch, because this game's really strict when it comes to safety car contact. Carlox on 7 lap on mediums. We all know he's going to get eaten up by the 3 drivers behind him, Lewis, Charles, and Marion. But when is Jose going to go? That is the question. He's going now. Surely. We are back underway for the Barcelona Grand Prix in Prestige BP Racing League. And there's contact immediately going into turn 1. The 2 drivers go side by side. Curtis Jones and STR Noise is back in the lead of the Barcelona Grand Prix. Jose Feliz is going to try and re-overtake. And there's a yellow flag. There's a yellow flag, and that's Charles Max. That is Charles Max. That has definitely spun. Curtis Jones makes contact with Jose, and Charles Max has retired from the session. We can't have a safety car now, surely. Anyway. As we continue, STR Noise is in the lead after really smashing, basically just hitting Jose Feliz to get an advantage. But Jose Feliz will definitely not let that slide and will be arguing to him about that, because that is probably the main cause Jose Feliz was overtaken. So going into the final corners, Jose will need all the speed he can get in that Aston Martin and his raw pace. He can use only his Aston Martin and his own pace to overtake, not even ERS on. But he is gaining time on STR Noise. Going into turn 1, he brakes early to not crash into him. Going to turn 3, in my opinion, Jose just had a better line going through there. Lap 32, we're on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix, and Marco is actually dropping back. Nicholas is going wide, goes off the track, and has spun round. He is down in P12, and that is not a way you want to finish this Grand Prix. Going into the chicane, Jose Feliz needs, again, raw pace. I think DRS will be enabled on this lap. Nicholas has left the session. Cryplax has left the session. No. Oh, phew. I was gonna say, phew, I thought I'd disconnected. Anyway, Jose Feliz going into turn 14, I think that is. Turn 13, turn 12, whatever it is. Going into the penultimate corner, going to the final corner. Am I correct of this is being 1 lap of DRS? Which, will it be enough? STR Noise with the fast lap, a 112.9. Yes, there is DRS. Oh my goodness, this may go down as a photo finish. Going into the final corners of this Grand Prix, we have not 4.2 now, 4 whatever it was, kilometers left this Grand Prix now. We now have 2 sectors left of this Grand Prix. We'll still have 2 more DRS zones. The last DRS zone won't really be enough. Now, it just depends on raw pace speed through corners and this one DRS zone. Will it be enough for STR Noise to just battle it out for first place? It's the final lap of the Grand Prix. 3/10 separate the two drivers. DRS flap open. And gains basically no pace. And STR Noise once again with not the greatest of lines. And Jose Feliz, again, this time he has it worse. Going into the final corner is going to be STR Noise and Williams, who have won the Grand Prix, and that was Curtis Jones spinning in the background. But STR Noise has won the Grand Prix. Jose Feliz was second, Y2 with YZ with third, Peace Control Tom with fourth, Mark with fifth, Lebedev with sixth, Marin with seventh, Olaf with eighth, Lewis with ninth, Curtis with 10th, and so on. What just happened to Curtis Jones? Podium chances just spun out of his sight. But STR Noise, pole position, first place in Q2, first place in Q3, and now the race winner and the fastest lap holder the fastest lap holder here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Spanish flags you can see waving there. But there we go. Williams with a great victory. Both Aston Martins on the podium, Jose and YZ, and then obviously the Williams and his constructor. So, would STR Noise, Jose and YZ join my party for some interviews? I think I've got enough time. Played together. There we go. Yeah, that's me. Hello there.
Yo.
Hello. Jesus Christ. All of that commentating has just hurt my throat badly. I was literally just going insane because right at the end, like everyone just started spinning and crashing and stuff.
Yeah, so
Just wait for YZ and
yeah.
the Jose to join.
Um,
if they even join. YZ, can you join, please? Send you the invite, matey. Should I invite him again? Maybe he'll
Yeah,
join.
invite him again. If you just keep on spamming him, I think he'll join.
I don't want it to load. I want to see it. Okay, wait, there is it. Invite. I don't think Jose can. I don't know. He hasn't responded.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There we go.
There he
Sorry,
is.
I was with Wee Bear.
Oh, okay. Is
I'll put you-
thingy gonna join? Jose?
No, I was just invited him. He's not going to join.
Oh, okay. So
Let me.
I'm gonna start with YZ. So if it's okay, if STR, can you just mute yourself for yeah?
I think he's still loading in.
Shut up, noise.
Sure.
Okay. So YZ, podium place for you, third place. What do you think of that race, and do you think it would have gone any better?
I think Noise got very lucky with the safety car. To be honest,
No, I
and he
think.
used his, and he used his big brain putting on medium tyres. He's a fucking retard. And then we would have won. We could have got a 1-2, but disappointed. But oh well, double podium. We'll take it. We'll beat Curtis. So we'll take it.
By the way, I don't know if you saw Curtis Jones spinning right at the end. Do you feel bad for him?
No, he deserves it. I've never felt happier for a person spinning, to be honest. I was actually over the moon when he spun. But yeah, I think he made contact with me. He was sending it, and then he didn't send it enough and died.
Of course. Also, speaking of the safety car, I think it's just me, but do you think that Martin, the Ferrari, crashed on purpose to do a crash gate?
It was on purpose, yeah, and I'm pretty sure Noise had a hand in it as well, because I do know him and Martin get along quite well, so
No, I
maybe
think
a ban for both of them.
This guy's sarcasm is the best.
So I just think it was just trying to do a crash gate moment, and he just failed. Lousy man.
This guy has no enthusiasm. Oh my
So, just go. So have a good evening, Moisey, and go about your day.
All right, now I want to stay for Noise. As Noise has his part, as Noise had his partner.
Why is he going?
Now I want to hear his part. I want to hear him.
Okay.
I wanna hear his bullshit
Let's go.
shit.
Let's go.
How did I win? How did I win?
Okay. Hello, Noise.
Alright.
So race win. Just like you did yesterday, 2 wins in 1 weekend. So how do you feel out of the back of that?
Lucky bastard.
Obviously, at the start of the race, I got pulled by, was it 3 tenths, I think? Yeah, I think it was 3 tenths. 1 second kill of Shaz, but we take it. And then, obviously, the race strategy was going to be hard medium. And then obviously with Shaz getting Martin to crash and getting back in the race, obviously, if you look at Shaz's high, he's in, I think Martin's in.
God's sake, man.
Obviously, my big brain team decided to put on mediums instead of softs. But obviously, Jose, he doesn't have the best of pace, so...
Jose shit, that's why. If I was behind you, you're fucking finished.
I sent you on him, and he just couldn't keep up with me. Even... I had 50% ERS, he had like, what, 0, I think? Was he fast?
I think it was. I couldn't really see on
he's
the
not the best,
steering
is he?
wheel.
So, you know. Shaz
Oh
ditched
my
me for
God.
him, and I guess it was his worst decision, you know?
By the way, your
All I'm-
teammate, Tsunami, he had a very good race in general qualifying until he had that moment with Lewis and then crashing. So, do you have anything to say about that?
I think he needs to get his head back up and maybe learn my tips. I'll give him some tips after the race, for sure. I think
Dom,
Shaz should listen as well.
fun fact, Noise doesn't even have a seat. So this is like, it's redundant, this result. Technically,
So, like-
me and Weber got a 1-2 because he's a reserve. If
Fair
you
enough.
really, really deep it, it was an Aston Martin 1-2 today.
Yeah, the fact that reserve is winning is crazy.
Crazy.
Do you want a seat?
Go on then.
Okay, so last question. So your teammate from yesterday, Olaf, did really well until he hit the wrong person during the safety car restart. I mentioned that he hit the wrong person by the name of YZ. Or Shaz. Hit the wrong person. You hit the wrong person of all people. You have to hit the owner of all people, man. That's just
I'm really
mean.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously Shaz, not the best teammate. I've had better like Olaf. He's doing really well this season. You know, pushing the mediums all the way to lap 15, I think. So I think he should get a praise.
Oh yeah, this is speaking of tire management, Marco hanged out for like what 20 something laps.
Yeah, Marco big brain strategy. He for some reason went
No,
out
he's
on
actually a retard. Marco, I don't know what he was thinking.
20 laps and then he went for sauce, but he lost like 10 seconds. So I
Do you know who was rapid? Olaf Sauce at the start didn't die at all.
yeah, they
He just stuck there.
10 laps. That's why
Yeah,
Marco was
it
doing.
was mad.
Just didn't do it right.
Yeah, Marco just had a stinker today. He had a terrible start.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that Matt retired on track, so I'm reporting him.
That's one penalty point. You know those penalty points.
Martin's definitely getting a penalty point for causing Crashgate.
Yeah, I think Shaz may get a penalty point as well.
For what?
I need to
For
look
what?
back on my footage. For crossing the pit entry line. Got a little.
You little nerd.
shot.
You little nerd.
Alright,
For fucking pre-season. Alright.
alright, guys, I've got to go. So,
Yeah, cheers, mate.
have a good one.
Well done for commentating. Better than Shaz, really. Let's be honest.
You're better than Helix. Already.
Alright.
That's such a lie.
Wow!
See you guys.
Dom, did you hear that? Did you hear what you just said?
What?
You said you're not as good as other comms. Just saying.
I mean, that's obvious. I mean, I'm not
Oh,
obviously...
stop being such a pussy. You're better.
Still
You're
a
better.
rookie. He's still rising up in the ranks. Like he's better than you.
At least you're not an arsehole like Helix.
Sorry,
Alright.
who got their BP deleted?
Alright, guys. Have a good one.
Alright, bye. Fuck you.
Alright, so, thank you guys for your time. We have streamed for 2 hours now, and this is where it comes to an end. Have a good time, have a good evening.